End of this liturgical year, we are invited to meditate on the end of times. When we speak about that and listen to it, it may be only a kind of ideological or theoretical discussion. But for the people for whom the gospel was initially written and proclaimed, the early Christians, it was a real experience of life and death. It was a time when Christians, just because they were Christians, were persecuted, both by the Jews and the Romans. They were imprisoned, killed, and so on. And it was a time of very nascent church, means many were getting converted, and there the conversions were individual happenings. That also meant there were divisions in the family. One or two from a family may become Christian, others remain in their own religion, whether it is a Gentile religion or a Jewish religion. That also brought a lot of anxiety and concern within, not only in the families, but also in the community. In that context, Luke, the evangelist, is inviting his church to meditate on the Jesus event and the salvation promised by risen Christ. Now, what are you to do, and what comfort is Jesus offering? If you want to have a little more contemporary parallel to that kind of situation, think of what has happened lately in the Middle East. A report in 2019 titled "Persecuted and Forgotten" warned Christianity vanishing from towns and cities of Middle East as the impact of genocide has led to hemorrhaging numbers of the faithful. There were 1.5 million Christians in Iraq before 2003, but by mid-2019, the number had fallen to well below 150,000. Iran, Iraq, and now Syria, all those places. Imagine you trying to console those minority communities of Christians there and encourage them to stay in faith. It is a similar situation where Luke the evangelist proclaimed this gospel of Jesus. And there, Luke reminds them that Jesus never wanted them to take arms and fight against it. No violence is promoted or called for by Jesus. The difference is the very company and presence of Jesus. That doesn't mean you will not be persecuted or you will not be imprisoned. Your life is going to be easy. Hardships and persecutions, torture and jailing, all good to be expected. But all this adversity will turn to be an opportunity for you to witness to the great faith. That's the message Jesus had for them, and that's the message the evangelist wrote down for them. So, how do you defend yourself, your faith, and give witness? You don't have to prepare your own defense. Be with Christ. Be in communion with the risen Lord. The Lord will prepare the defense for you. When the time comes, spontaneously, through your words and your actions, you will be bearing much witness which will be fruitful, and you will be rewarded. That's the comfort and consolation the gospel offers. And we see in the history of the church, in the life of so many martyrs, similar things happening. Our own patron saint, Peter Chanel, stood his ground and lived his faith, professed it in the face of a great adversity, where the king himself wanted to kill him, which he did. And in the eyes of the world, that would have been a total failure. But from the blood of the martyrs, the church in Pacific grew to a vibrant one, as we see now. That was the case with the early church too, and that would be the case always. So what the church always needs is a great witnesses like that, whereby they are tested in very trying situations. From such stress, the real truth and nature of good Christians will come out as great witness. Perhaps the laxity of Christian practices and Christian church in our country, as well as in most of the Western world, is possibly because there is not enough stress to test you. But if we are observant enough, if we really love our faith and Jesus Christ, you see there are plenty of challenges which would test you in our time too. They are more perhaps ideological or social or political mostly. So in such cases, never to lose heart and be brave enough to practice your faith, keep your communion with the Lord, and the Lord will use you as a great witness or evangelist, and the world needs it. And we will be rewarded. We will be rewarded for such a great witnessing. And that may look like the end of our life, because that might end our present agenda or present comfort and present world. But it will be a birth pang of a new life for us, for the church, and for the world indeed. May God bless us to acquire this wisdom and this inspiration to move forward. And let's also pray for those Christians who are tested much harder through violence and other situations elsewhere in the world, that they too may bear great witness that Christ's message will prevail, bringing peace and salvation for everyone. God bless you.